This is in memory of my father, Rodolfo Schuster, born March 22nd, 1935 in Germany, to John and Lieselotte Schuster. He got to grow up as a little boy in this castle. And here he is with his mom and with his grandfather. All of the family had to escape the Nazis, and many of them here in Montevideo, Uruguay, lived in this apartment together. My dad and his parents, they moved out to the country. They had some cows and some fruit trees. Many of the cows passed away, and those that were left they brought back to the city, and they had this small dairy farm. This was the last house that my father's father lived in. In South America, my dad learned all about jazz, playing the trumpet, cars, motorcycles, airplanes, and women. He was an only child and had a very close relationship with his mom. He also had a great relationship with his grandmother and his uncle. But growing up, his aunt was not in South America. She was in the United States with her 4 children and her husband. And when my mom was in her early 20s, she came to South America, met her cousin, my dad. Unexpectedly, they fell in love and got married. They moved to the United States, and then my father started working on his cars. People would come to learn how to get their oil changed. They also would come to the shop on the weekends to play music, do poetry. Very unusual. This Mercedes my dad bought for $1 and had it completely repaired. It's gorgeous. This 1932 Studebaker he had completely transformed and would drive around the neighborhood. Growing up was such a rich life with my family. And my dad was so creative. He welded this together. He was Mr. Fix-It. We would go sailing. We would go on family vacations. There was always music in the house. There were parties. It was a full life. But South America was calling him. And in 1981, my father went back to South America. I went with him, knowing full well that in a few weeks' time, I was going to be sent back to the United States while my father started his new life again in South America. Here he is with the Memphis Jazz Band that he started. His love of music, his love of cars, and women. Uli was his love for 20 years. They were together until she passed away. They even had a timeshare together in Cancun, Mexico. Uli had 2 daughters, Susan and Anne, that my father really adored. He also got to have 3 granddaughters that he was very close with, and was so tickled pink when he got to be a great-grandfather to Teo. Then my dad met Sonia, and they got to have a wonderful love relationship for a little over 20 years. And he got to have another family with Sonia's sister, as well as her mom, and even met Sonia's dad. In 2001, my sister and I, we started to go to South America again. We sang in his band sometimes. He would drive us around and show us where he used to live. We would do different kinds of activities, but we always had to go visit Uncle Utsi and Aunt Elenita. We also had to go visit his cousins Tommy and Ingrid, and sometimes we get to see Victoria. Here she is with her daughter and son, who was born just after Dad passed away. And here is Candy, Victoria's first daughter, who's in heaven right now. So Dad and her are in heaven together. But heaven on earth was music for my dad. Performing was his passion. He loved it. Having the guys over to rehearse for the gigs, making his CDs, and he loved to promote. He would go on the radio. He would go into the television station. He would be on his computer posting on Facebook, posting on YouTube. He lived a full life. He always was meeting new people, be they young, be they old. He loved life. Anybody who met him knew his vibrancy. What a wonderful life my dad has lived. And now, Dad, I give it to you to sing about what a wonderful world you're living now as well.
I see trees of green, red roses too. I see them bloom for me and you, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. I see skies of blue and clouds of white, the bright blessed day, dogs say good night, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. The colors of the rainbow, so pretty in the sky, are also on the faces of people going by. I see friends shaking hands